The reason that we're here today is to talk about something that has been a rumor in Lakewood. It's not a swamp. Hey everybody, it's Scott from RAVN Homes out in Lakewood of Strathmore. I'm here with Neal Coulter, who is the project manager of the subdivision. And the reason that we're here today is to talk about something that has been a rumor in Lakewood. It's not a swamp. So, Neal.
The thing that won't go away. Eh?
Yeah. So when you first came out here, what were you looking at?
Well, we'd been developing out here for years. You know, Hillview was my partners. They developed Hillview.
Yeah.
And this was just a natural progression of Hillview.
Yeah.
We were looking at it as the next phase. So back in 2010, the town of Strathmore, they had some decisions to make. So they brought out City of Calgary water, $65 million water line that brought the City of Calgary drinking water out to Strathmore, which was great.
Perfect.
They updated the wastewater treatment plant, which needed upgrading because they had affluent fields out there that they were spraying. Now there's a direct discharge to the Bow River, which is massive for growth in Strathmore. And they annexed more land.
Okay.
So they wanted to grow to 50,000 people.
Right.
So what happened was when that water line came out, they didn't need their water treatment plant, which was on this land where Lakewood sits right now, and they didn't need their raw water reservoir anymore. Okay. It was a 40-acre piece of water that was not armored. It wasn't lined. Okay. And they kept 15 feet of water in it on 40 acres. Massive amount of water, for the town.
Yeah.
So it leaked, and it leaked. This was built back in 1977, 78.
Okay.
So it leaked for 40 years, and there was pockets of little wetlands around Lakewood. Yeah. So when we did our due diligence, we came in and we did our geotech and we did all of our water investigations, and we found out that it was perched water. It was sitting up on top of a clay cap. Right. So when we went through Alberta Environment, and we went after we purchased the land, and we purchased all those wetlands, wetland compensation. And as soon as we came in after the approval and dug out the first wetland, all the other wetlands drained through it. Okay. So it was gone. So that was sort of what we looked at, and we knew it because we developed the land right next door, right? So. Yeah, it was a pretty interesting, process that we went through. But that water was just sort of sitting on a clay cap. We don't have a swamp here. Never have, and never will.
Well, it's funny because, of course, you know how rumors are. Mm-hmm. A rumor goes around the world before the truth can get its pants on. Yeah. But so that was filled up by the WID, though.
Yeah, there's an intake right from the WID canal, which is on the east side of our property, and they would pull water in there. They had a water license, the town with WID. They would pull water into the reservoir and keep it there. Yeah.
And that's the Western Irrigation District, is that what it's called? So in essence, they would fill that, it would leak, and it would cause the low spots to be wet. As soon as you guys dug a hole, everything drained out because it really wasn't being fed with water constantly.
Correct.
So let's go over here and talk about the pond at the back here and basically how this water works. So we've got one out here. What is the deal with this pond? Why do you put that in?
So these ponds, we have two ponds here. We have an 8-acre pond here with permanent water. Right. And it's a meter higher than our east pond, which is 5 acres of permanent water. Okay. And that is what we require through CSMI. So CSMI is, they have the rules and regulations for our storm management. So they tell us exactly how big our discharge rate will be to release water to the north. Yeah. Because on the west side of Strathmore, everything flows from the Trans-Canada Highway to the north. Okay. On the east side, it all flows opposite. So on the east side, it all flows to the Bow River. Yeah. We flow to the Red Deer River Valley. Okay. On the west side of Strathmore. Wow. So any rain that falls, snow, from TransCanada, we pick up here.
Yeah.
It comes through our ponds, and then it goes to the north.
That's just a natural drainage, though.
Natural drainage.
What happens everywhere in the world. It
Exactly.
rains, it snows, the water melts, or the snow melts, becomes water, and you guys have to take care of it. So,
And what we do is we maintain it, we manage it, and then we have to release it because the farmers to the north of us need the water.
Sure.
They've got dugouts, they have wetlands that need to be full. They've got cattle, you know. So we have to have that water go, and you'll see that we have a steady, stream of water coming through. It always has.
Yeah.
It's always come through this land.
Yeah.
And it always will.
So, so if you cut off that water, their wetlands dry up.
Their wetlands dry up, and we're in trouble.
All right.
And that's an Alberta environment thing.
Right.
So we have literally 4 different groups that give us rules and regulations for water on our site.
Yeah.
We've got the WID canal.
Yeah. Western Irrigation District.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they want water coming through for the farmers because that's what they do.
Yeah.
We've got Alberta Environment.
Yeah.
We've got the town of Strathmore, and we've got CSMI. So we maintain the water, and it comes through us and leaves. But our ponds, these are lined.
Yeah.
So there's no leakage coming out of these ponds.
Yeah.
We rely on a little bit of evaporation.
Sure.
But most of it just comes through, and that's the groundwater. That's surface water. So when it rains, it goes onto your roof, into the downspouts, into our catch basins.
Yeah.
Ends up in that pond.
Yeah.
Into that pond, and eventually we'll go north.
So we've dug 8 holes in this subdivision now, and never had a problem with water, never had a problem with compaction. So the whole thing for us is we need layers of protection for our clients and for us, obviously. So we have our engineers after your engineers, and as you said, you have all these people that are saying, don't do this, don't do that, you have to do this, you have to do that. So it's pretty controlled.
Oh, is it ever? And with me and my partners here at Lakewood, like we've got over 100 years of development experience, thousands of lots that we've serviced and sold to builders, over the years. And what you would see is if there was any type of swamp water conditions here, our roads would be like this. Our sidewalks, and I've seen it. I've seen it in other developments. Won't name them. But you see that because in the winter it freezes, the frost grabs it and pulls up, and you get this.
Yeah.
But we've have over 100 homes here in Lakewood now. We just passed over 100.
Yeah.
I've never heard of a basement cracking, issues with water in basements, things like that. And we're hands-on. We're here almost every single day.
I see you. You drive around here all the time.
I do.
Honk at me.
My truck, the lawnmower.
The lawnmower, whatever.
Yeah.
No, so that's why I wanted to talk to you. There's all kinds of experts, but they don't see actually what's happening. So for us, I mean, that was a big concern for me. I wanted to talk to you guys about it before we invested in lots. Why would I buy something that I couldn't sell? So anyways, it kind of came up. Obviously, Mason sitting in the show home, the questions that he would get. And so really trying to dispel this whole thing is a big, big thing for us. And we want to make sure that when people come down here, they have a lot of trust and confidence in what we do. So.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, there's a couple things maybe we can look at outside, but okay. So our new show home row is going to be here, which is, we've got 5 or 6 going in here.
Correct.
So they'll be backing onto this pond. Right. So I guess, again, the water flowing in here, and this pond really has stayed, always got some water in it, but eventually we're just going to have it'll be running over that spillway into the next pond, kind of like a little babbling brook.
Yep. This is going to be the very first area where storm water, so it comes into the streets, into the catch basins.
Yeah.
It ends up in the piping system into this pond.
Okay.
And then it'll be circulating through this pond, over the spillway into the other pond, and then to the north.
All right. Okay. So you can just see how you guys have already got this going. You're going to be seeding that, or this summer, or spring. and we'll have grass. And
Yep, it's been seeded once already.
okay.
So the landscapers are coming out here this week, and they're going to see how it's germinating, and we'll be putting fertilizer down and top dressing it. Yeah, we want it to look very nice. We've got a nice path system here that connects to the town's path system.
Yeah.
So you can leave here and you can walk all day, you know,
Okay.
around the town of Strathmore. Yeah, it's a great path system here.
So we did our first video out here was about the town, and we walked around the path system and showed the connection and everything. It's really taking off as a town. Like
Yeah.
I think it's time for it to start growing. So.
Oh, it's time. Yeah, if you come here at 3:30 in the afternoon, the buses that arrive in Lakewood and
Yeah.
drop the kids off.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing, eh?
Oh yeah.
Like it's a tight community.
Yeah.
People are great here. It's just a great feel on the community.
So there's 100 homes that have been built here now. We have a great community association. They have their little get-togethers at
yeah.
Brave Park, and also everybody's happy with their homes. They don't have problems with any water or anything like that. It's been a non-issue.
Yep. No, exactly.
So-
Exactly.
All right. Well, that's great, Neal. I wanted to come out here just so that people can see what we've got going, and I appreciate you taking the time today because, you
pleasure.
know, it's really important for us, and obviously you guys want to sell more lots too, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, man.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, bud.